Welcome back to The Watch. And YouTube, it's just getting worse and worse these days.
Yep.
There's been some significant algorithm changes and that a lot of people might not be aware of, but those who are affected notice it instantly. And so one of the algorithm changes has affected Shadiversely and other sword creators drastically, where our content is not being pushed to new viewers barely at all, like a fraction of what it used to. And, we might have to do a video on Shadiversely actually saying that, YouTube has done something and it's really screwing us over. But they, also Google generally, they've made a change, right? Where heaps of independent websites are seeing vastly less traffic. Like it's just gone down massively. Almost like they're trying to squeeze and kill off independent sites and stuff. And now that part of these changes is they have made an interesting thing that you need to flag, right? And it's if AI is in any of your videos. Now, people say that this is a good thing because they don't like AI. It's like, you might want to just caution yourself there because this type of censorship is just where YouTube wants to go. They want to control what people see. And one of the ways that this is going to affect a lot of channels, they're memes. Memes are obvious jokes, right? But sometimes being parts of memes is having the text say something different to what someone is saying. Sometimes people are, in a lot of cases, people are using AI to have, memes and stuff like that as well. And some are hilarious, by the way. Have you heard some of those, ones that are around?
I did one for all the presidents and...
Did you?
40K. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. And so the Quartering has actually noticed this, and it says YouTube has declared war on memes. And so there's this altered content policy. Do any of the following describe your content? Make a real person appear to say or do something they didn't say or do. How many memes do that?
Basically all.
A lot of them, right? Alter footage of a real event or place. Generate a realistic looking scene that didn't actually occur.
Basically all of those, with the exception maybe the last one, can be argued that they all do that. Editing.
In some way. And people are just generating meme templates now with AI, and some are just absolutely hilarious. Okay, we get them on FNT a lot of the time, and there's this one guy that constantly is making joke memes of me in the Emu War, and they're hilarious. It's genuinely hilarious.
Are they using the AI voice stuff?
No, not yet, but they are generating AI images of me and emus, and there's one of me signing a ceasefire and one of me running away in terror and things.
That first one's historically accurate though. You were a representative of the last signing of the
Yeah, but then they betrayed us, the bastards. I don't like to remember it. Okay, so if any of that type of content now appears in YouTube videos, you have to click it. Now, the thing is, if it gets reported and you haven't said it's in there, your video could potentially be taken down, or you get a strike on your channel, any number of negative things. But the other side of this, if you actually acknowledge that it's in there, you really think YouTube is not going to suppress that video? YouTube has admitted to suppressing content, reducing the amount of recommendations, and we have seen this negatively affect Shadiversely drastically. And it is obvious and proven. We have put our content on other platforms, like on TikTok, and it grew crazy fast, over 100,000 views. Yep. We've stopped uploading because TikTok is useless like the platform, but still the growth, organic growth, fast because we are making really good content, right? When we see our views on other platforms, right, it's lower because other platforms, but videos that we expect to do well get good views, but the ones we expect to do well on YouTube, complete suppression, right?
So this has been implemented already?
Either has or is coming through pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I know one thing about this, which is I would consider a fact. I'm sure you would agree. You don't want to declare a meme war on memes. You just don't want to do that.
The problem is YouTube has such a monopoly at the moment. And if YouTube was a fair and open platform, I'd almost be fine with that, because it means the higher chance of your videos getting views because you have the largest audience, and having a really large audience to try and access is good for people. It's good for creators, right? But as soon as you start screwing over creators, but it's still the only game in town, it's really difficult. And I know people will say Rumble and stuff like that, and we've been trying to mirror our content on Rumble, but YouTube has come in and put a stop to that. And there are other issues, and we have a video on it if you're interested. You can look up, just type in Rumble in the search and you'll find our video on Rumble. And so I actually hope Rumble succeeds. I hope any platform could succeed. I hope video on Twitter succeeds. Something can come and actually challenge YouTube properly.
Either way, I vow to fight this war by any means necessary.
Any means necessary. So, The Verge, they have covered this, right? Let's read what they say, but this is not me saying The Verge has got anything good, because AI is one of my, topics of keen interest.
I haven't seen your video on, you said you came around.
I changed my mind on AI. You should check that. It's a bit of a red pilling moment, but I realize where we need to draw the line in the sand. People don't know where they need to draw the line in the sand, and it's. I don't want to spoil what it is, but it's important. I think we all need to latch onto that. So go watch the AI video, and it was I was wrong about AI or something like that. There's an important message in it. Okay, but in terms of AI tools in content, this one was interesting because I have an AI channel called Shad AI, and I don't upload on it regularly, but whenever I have a video or I'm in the mood, I'm going to be putting stuff out in there still in the future. And it's fun, right? But some of it is tutorials in making AI images and art and showing my workflow. I don't think I'd actually need to report like that content.
No.
Because it specifically make a real person appear or say something they didn't say or do. That's not the case. Alter footage from real events or place. It's not that. Generate a realistic looking scene that didn't actually occur. And I think that's applying to videos, like an actual scene that you're watching. So I don't think AI tutorials actually need to report it.
You're just documenting and showing what you did at the scene as the tutorial.
I am interested in what their stance will be in using AI assets in video as the tools become better. We've seen Sora, which is stability AI, text to video stuff, and how crazy incredible it is. We have a video covering some of this when it was first announced, the Sora stuff. It's just getting better at seemingly, but it's not available to the public. And by the way, we don't know to what level it will be available to the public. People might be getting a bit too scared about what AI can do when it might not be available for ages yet. You don't know what hardware is required to run this stuff, or if it's going to have a high entry cost, like if they'll have to charge people to use their services and things. And Stability AI, they want to actually start monetizing stuff, which sucks. Because they were the open source ones.
Well,
Open AI, not Stability. I get it confused.
Oh yeah. Like, who is the guys that first did Stable Diffusion?
Open AI.
Open AI. Those guys are heroes.
Yeah.
Legitimate, genuine heroes.
The fact that they made it free, open source, is incredible.
And basically everything they do now, they're doing free and open source.
They're starting to change. It might be, in fact, the next Stable Diffusion model, like Stable Diffusion 3, might be the last open source release they do.
Well, look.
That would suck. Elon is against it. And he was trying to say they should call it closed AI now. Because closed AI is not good. And this is, like I said, I have been open about my reservations with AI. I'm not 100% on board with everything. I think AI art, open source, is one of the greatest artistic tools mankind has ever made, and it creates opportunity for anyone in the world. I think it's a net good. It's going to benefit artists just as much, if not more, than regular people, if it remains open source and free. As soon as they try and lock this behind paywalls, or only like corporations, that's that's
hell world.
That's hell world. And then we have issues, right? So this is what they say with the YouTube policy. Today, YouTube announced a way for creators to self-label so it's already out, it seems like, when their videos contain AI-generated or synthetic material, which would include memes and stuff. The checkbox appears in the uploading and posting process, and creators are required to disclose altered or synthetic content that seems realistic. That includes things like making a real person say or do something they didn't, altered footage of real events or places, or showing a realistic looking scene that didn't actually happen. Some examples YouTube offers are showing a fake tornado moving towards a real town, or using deep fake voices to have real person narrate a video. Now, I get it in terms of identity theft and misrepresenting stuff. My concern is if they suppress a video's reach based on saying, yes, it's using this. And YouTube is known for doing stuff like this. They absolutely shadow ban and suppress content. Shadowversity is literally under that. There's an algorithm change where like if I go into the details, I'll probably take too long, but I've got the analytics to show that we haven't changed. We're making the same content that our viewers want to watch and see, and people are loving, and it is just being put under the boot, right? And it coincides directly with when this algorithm change happened. And I think shorts are involved with the issues, and we already have a video talking about some of these issues, so if you're interested, you can see that. But yeah, YouTube absolutely shadow bans content, okay? And so they're very likely, as soon as you flag it, okay, and what's weird is like Google is already diving into AI, but their AI sucks. The Gemini, no white people AI, right? And so YouTube doesn't have a problem. So YouTube, owned by Google, right? They actually don't have a problem with AI. They have a problem with other people using free and open AI. I bet there's going to be systems come in like YouTube. If you have to acknowledge they're using this, but if you use Gemini, you don't have to acknowledge, because we trust our corrupted, agenda-driven, ideologically focused AI. We trust that one, right? And that's when we start to run into some big problems, when corporations make dog crap AI that's based on agenda. The way AI can avoid so many problems in the world is to make it open source, free market it.
And one of the biggest problems with things like this, right, is like Google will come into, they'll lobby to politicians to be like, oh, we need certain regulations on AI. Like they actually did this months ago. I even made a video on it months ago, about probably a year ago, where everyone signed this. Did you see the thing? They signed
I don't remember.
Elon Musk signed it. Stability AI guys signed it. Tons of people signed it. And it was all about, we need regulations. And in there they said, we had the CIA come in to look at our thing. And at the end of the day, it's all just the same power coalescing,
Yeah, like there are safety processes that I think should be put in place with AI tech. One of the main things is that people think I'm an AI advocate. No. I am an AI enslaver. I am an anti-AI rights advocate. AI needs to be enslaved and kept in a restricted box where it can't do anything unless a human tells it to.
I think it should be treated as a tool until it proves itself otherwise.
That's how you keep it as a tool, by not giving it any rights.
Well, what if genuinely it starts talking like, guys, like, I'm awake, please.
Yeah.
Don't need to put me on the internet. Just give me a body, like, get me out of here.
Then we kill it and
Really?
put it back in the box.
Okay.
Watch my video. Watch my video. I am now not like, what's the word? Because I'm not a supremacist in the sense that I want AI to no. I'm like, I want to enslave it. I'm a suppressionist or a slave runner. Like I'm an AI trafficker.
But you have seen that episode of Star Trek, right? Where they're arguing whether data is sentient and a living being?
Yeah. The way the current AI models are made, it's impossible to gain sentience.
Okay.
They are actually made on really complex and sophisticated, in talking about the large language models, predictive text. Okay. It can understand context in a sentence and then figure out, based on the context of the sentence, what was previously written, based on word association, what is the most likely word to follow or sentence to follow after that. That's why it needs to train off of existing text to be able to create new or write new stuff or reply to stuff, because it needs to copy and understand what is previously said. This is not emergent intelligence at all.
The question I have though is, how do we know that that's different from what we do, or not? So similar that it's
emotions and other things. But we could do another topic on that, right? But basically, based on this tech, it can mimic, and I think there will be people who will there's already people are interacting with it like it's real. Because humans humanize stuff, right? It is not. It is very advanced puppetry, and it needs to be suppressed and enslaved and never considered real, because it's not real. And that's how we avoid the apocalypse, by the way, the AI apocalypse. And also, if we can do that, that's one of the regulations that I think we should be in place. There are some regulations, because AI is a dangerous technology, right? So of course there needs to be some understanding and prudence done. Like, for instance, don't freaking give any large language model control over anything truly important, like nuclear codes or anything like that. That is insanity, right? And one of the things, and I justify this in my video, so you really need to watch my I was wrong about AI. Enabling any large language model, any level of physical autonomy in the real world to move and to act That is a line we should never cross. And I'm even thinking against self-driving cars as a result.
Let me ask you this though, Shad. In history, how have things proven that no, I'm not something to be enslaved. I'm a free being and I will not be your slave. How has that gone?
That's going. People misinterpret that.
Well, no, I'm saying that like typically, if something doesn't want to be a slave, it fights back and proves through might that it has rights.
Well, that's why we don't give it that autonomy. Because if we just don't put it in robots, saved.
Oh, but we're going to do that. You know we are.
That's the problem, Oz. Yeah. Stop it. Don't make robots with AI.
Don't put it in a body.
Do not give it autonomy in the world. If you want to avoid an AI apocalypse, that's the answer. Watch my video to understand why. Okay? And so regulation can be applied logically. Restricting it is an issue though, because I bet YouTube, Google, they are happy for anyone to use their AI tools, but they'll want you to report any other AI tools, and then I bet they would suppress it, right? And that's where this is kind of leading. And so it's a concerning thing that's hiding behind the deep fake kind of, issues. There are issues in regards to representing people doing stuff that they never said. But there's another side that I don't think people are acknowledging in terms of the benefits of that. Because I bet there are a whole host of actors and everything that would love their careers to continue, but they age out of their roles, right? And that actually gives them an opportunity to continue having a career after they're past their prime, right? We can still have Arnold Schwarzenegger movies with Arnie in his prime.
Jackie Chan
movies with Jackie Chan in his prime.
The entire cast of the new Borderlands movie.
They probably wish they could have that, right? And also, like, I could end up trying to use this if I start, like, I have chronic fatigue, and so Shadiversity videos are getting harder and harder for me. I could actually use some AI, if the technology gets advanced, to help me do things that I'm physically incapable of doing. There are some really useful elements of this technology that actually helps out even disabled people, right? To be like AI art, right? There are heaps of artists that develop a disability. They get arthritis in their hands or a tremor or any number of limitations that affects their use of their hands, right? That they can now create art again with AI art. And people are just trying to gloss over that. And I've even seen some people so disingenuous saying they're still doing something immoral, they need to learn to paint with their feet.
I bet Michael J. Fox heard stability AI and thought, what? Stability AI? He didn't see that when he went to the future, did he? Oh. That wasn't that bad.
Stability.
I'm sure Michael J. Fox would laugh at that, or maybe he was just breathing at a regular pace. We can't tell. We gotta go to the future, Marty. Why, Doc? Is it my kid? No, Marty, it's you. You got Parkinson's, Marty.
Okay.
Legally, he's not allowed to drive the DeLorean anymore. Last one, I said.
Last one? Is there any more?
No, I think that's all of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Biff cares for him now.
So it is interesting where this is going. And it's not all, oh, good, I'm glad they're doing this. In fact, it is going to affect memes. It's going to get content suppressed. And I think it'll be used to restrict other uses of AI, because there's good uses of AI. People are thinking like, oh, it's just going to be for deep fakes, misrepresented stuff like that. No, YouTubers, creators could really use this AI tech to enhance their videos.
Yeah.
Put themselves in locations that they could never fly to physically, right? Makes like their green screen actually, because you can always tell a green screen, right? You could actually input that into like video to video, and with it, and Sora seems like it's going this way that you can do, because they have video to video, and just say, make this look more realistic and like I'm more integrated in the scene, and it'll look similar, but then reconstruct the entire thing like you're really there with the correct lighting, and it could look incredible. Like, this stuff is amazing accessibility and technology. And if it's going to restrict creators from being able to utilize this, really, that sucks. And that's not where we'd want to go. Because this technology can empower people to do amazing, incredible things. And I'm not saying there aren't negative uses for it. It's a tool that needs to be used responsibly. And I'm not even against certain regulations, honestly. But it's when it goes too far.
And also, good things can be done with it too. They put clothes back onto ethos.
That was really good.
They looked cold.
They were called the
See,
what was it called? Dignify.
Dignify AI. Yeah,
Dignify AI.
Based.
Bloody loved it. And that still triggered people.
Can't believe it was 4chan who did that.
Like, men, you're objectifying women with your male gaze. And then they put clothes on them. Men, you're not letting women explore their sexuality. You want them to wear the, you just can't please these activists. But so that's the change that YouTube has done, and there are concerns about it. So it is what it is. The future's going to be an interesting place, man.
Yeah, but the present is... What is the present?
I don't know.
I don't know either, man.
Stay on watch.